The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
New York, a city where 8 million can scarf down their slices in safety, knowing that when pizza is close by, help is never far away.
Any luck finding a new place to live yet?
Well, you know, in this market, it's actually very difficult to find good subterranean housing. You'd think even an idiot could find a place down here. But no! Wow! And I thought all the really good dungeons were in Europe.
The past returns, my son.
Hey guys, look! That's the canister that had the ooze.
That transformed us all. Yes. Well, you're the last one, aren't you?
Uh-oh!
Oh, some animals are knocking down the telephone poles.
Let them get their own cab.
The next fight will be freak against freak.
Take the ugly one! No, you take the ugly one! Which one's the ugly one?
Ninja rap.
Huh?
Ninja rap. Go, 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 go. Go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja.
Go long! Turtle in the open! Surf's up, dude!
Ninja rap. Ninja rap. Ninja.
Rock and roll!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Cowabunga!
The Secret of the Ooze.
Don't forget, we're turtles!
Alright guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema, the Summer of Sequels series.
Summer of Sequels.
I'm your host, Jimbo.
And I'm your co-host, Kyle.
Kyle, today we have decided to do a throwback from the year 1991, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
That's right, Jimbo.
Man, when I was a kid, these movies were just cream of the crop when you're a kid like that.
It's Teenage Mutant Turtles is one of the ultimate kid brands.
Right.
I think so.
So, without further ado, Kyle, take it away.
Take it away. Okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, released on March 22nd, 1991, follows the story of the Turtles discover their origins while they endeavor to save New York City from the evil Shredder and his Foot Clan. Directed by Michael Pressman, written by Kevin Eastman for the original comics, and Peter Laird for the original comic books. And the film itself was written by Todd W. Langen. Produced by David Chan, Kim Dawson, and Thomas K. Gray. Composed by John D. Perez. And cinematographer was Shelley Johnson. Budget for this film was $25 million. Adjusted for inflation, that'd be about $57.3 million today. Opening weekend, it brought in $20 million. Adjusted for inflation, it'd be about $45.9 million today. And gross worldwide, it made an astounding $78.7 million. Adjusted for inflation, it'd be about $180.4 million today. This movie made pretty big blockbuster numbers for its time, for sure. So especially there, really impressive stuff going on there. Let's see here if I'm going in the right spot here. Some of the technical details of this film. This film has a very brisk runtime of just 88 minutes. Sound mix was Dolby Stereo from West Trax recording system. This is a color film. Aspect ratio is a very standard 1.85 by 1. The cameras used were the Panaflex camera lenses by Panavision. And laboratory mix was Technicolor from Los Angeles, California. That covers the technical details of the film. Moving on to some of the awards here, we have just 2 wins for the BMI Film and TV Awards. We have the BMI Film Music Award for John D. Prez, and we also have another Blimp Award for the Kids' Choice Awards back in 1992, respectively, for each award. Now, moving on to the cast here, we are going to take a very brisk pace as well. We have Paige Turco playing the role of April O'Neil, the Teenage Mutant Turtles' best friend. She was... That's accurate. She was in the film Invincible from 2006, The Game Plan from 2007, and the TV show The 100, where she played Dr. Abigail Griffin from 2000. Have you ever watched any
of The 100?
Never have. It's a good show.
Good.
Really good. I'll check it out sometime. She was in that show from 2014 to 2020, sorry, not 2022. And of course, she was also in the original Ninja Turtles film in 1990 and in Turtles 3 in 1993. Next up, we have David Warner playing the character of Professor Jordan Perry. David Warner was also in the film Titanic in 1997 and the film Time After Time in 1979. Next up, we have Michelin Sista playing the role of Michelangelo and also the Soho Man. Michelin Sista was also in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film and the third film, and he was also part of basically doing a lot of the puppeteering work for the original Muppet series and the film in 2011, and he was also in the Lost in Space puppeteer work as well. Next up, we have Leif Tilden playing the role of Donatello and the Foot Clan member number 3. Leif Tilden was also in the film George of the Jungle, where he did the gorilla suit performer work, and he was also in the original Teenage Mutant Turtles film and, of course, number 3 as well. Then next up, we have Ken Scott playing the role of Raphael. Ken Scott was also in the film Dracula's Widow, and he was also in the original Ninja film and the third film. Next up, we have Mark Casso playing the role of Leonardo and the new staff room staff for the film. And he also did stunt work for the film Mortal Kombat, released in 1995. Then next up, we have Kevin Clash playing the voice of the actual actor for Splinter. He was also the voice of Elmo, and he is a director. And he was also, of course, in the Sesame Street, 1969, and the series ongoing kind of thing. So that goes for that. Then next up, we have Ernie Reyes playing the Kino fight performer. He was also in Rush Hour 2, and he was playing the live action Shredder as well. He was also in the G.I. Joe Karen movie, What's that? Cartoon movie. Cartoon movie. What was the role he played there? Jimbo, do you remember the role he played? It was a Quick Lock or something like that, looks like?
Yeah.
Quick Lock.
Quick Kick.
Quick Kick, that's what it was. Thank you. Next up, we have Toshiro Obata playing the role of Tatsu. Toshiro Obata was also in the original film, 1990, and he reprises his role again. Then we have Raymond Serra playing the role of Chief Stearns, who was in the original film as well. Mark Gintha playing the role of Raza, who was in the film Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings in 2021, most recently. Then we have Kurt Bryant, who was playing the role of Toka, who was in the film Logan in 2017. And then, of course, we have the legendary Kevin Nash playing the role of Super Shredder, New World Order for Life. And he was also in some of the original Magic Mike trilogy of films. He was
also in The Punisher, remember, where he actually gets stabbed.
In real life, he didn't flinch because he's Kevin Nash. And he's like,
and yes, Kyle and I did get to meet Kevin Nash about 4 years ago or something. Get a picture taken with him.
Yeah, I got a picture of Kevin Nash. He looks like he could just crush my skull with his hand.
He's so great. Tall.
He's so huge. Oh my god, he's such an imposing man. Incredibly nice guy, but just incredible. Stand next to him was it's terrifying. Gives you a new respect for all the WWE performers, truly, because they are giants,
massive.
Yeah,
you don't think they don't look that big on TV? Even the smallest guy on TV is bigger than Kyle.
Exactly. by head and shoulders. Yeah, so incredible there. Kevin Nash is cool. That's the one thing to take away from this podcast. Kevin Nash is cool.
Right. Kyle.
Yeah. Jimbo, do you have a question?
Is that your cast?
That's my cast, yeah.
I have a question for you.
You have a question for me? What's the question, Jimbo?
If you were cast as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, which one of the 4 original Turtles do you think best suits your personality?
Best suits my personality.
That you could play.
That I could play. Gosh, I don't have all the attitude of Raph. I don't know if I'm as silly as Mikey.
We know you don't have the brains of Donatello, but you're not a leader either, so I don't know where we're going with this.
I would kind of like if they gave me Donatello's role. That's what I think I would strive for necessarily, but they might just put me with Mikey to be a klutz and just call it a day. I feel like Mikey always gets kind of short shrifted a little bit, but that's just my takeaway. Jimbo, who do you think you would play as?
Absolutely Michelangelo, because number one, he loves pizza.
Yeah,
I love pizza.
Who doesn't love pizza?
And number two, he was in love with April O'Neil.
Yeah, you ain't love April O'Neil, right? Every depiction of April O'Neil is fine.
But did you notice this isn't the same April O'Neil?
No, it's a different April O'Neil this time.
Right.
Yeah. So it's how it goes sometimes. Yeah. Anyways, let's go on some of the trivia of the film.
Are you done?
Yes, that's all class and technical stuff there, Jimbo.
All right. Well, this Turtles 2 was... not only was it an okay movie, but it gave us some pretty bangers of music.
Exactly.
The old Vanilla Ice, the Ninja Rap.
Yeah.
That is probably the most famous thing that came out of this movie.
Yeah.
But here's something I hated about this movie, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now that I hated.
Hated it.
How are you going to call it The Secret of the Ooze and not have Bebop and Rocksteady? You gave us those two bumbling idiot things in this. What a perfect opportunity to bring Bebop and Rocksteady into the mix, and they let me down.
Yeah, they didn't do it right. They didn't do it justice.
No.
It's a dang shame, Jimbo.
That's why it's going to drop on my radar here at the end of this. But here we go. This is dedicated to the memory of Jim Henson, who is probably one of the greatest puppeteers of all time.
If not the greatest, yeah.
Probably
is. Even
definitely.
now. Maybe his son.
Ernie Reyes Jr. was Donatello's fight double in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Producers liked Reyes so much they created the role of Keno just for him to replace the ultra-violent Casey Jones.
Oh,
which I missed Casey Jones in this film too. He was awesome.
Yeah, once again, though, I'm sure he's considered a rough edge from that original film too. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We'll get deeper into that for sure.
The building used for the entrance to April's apartment is the office to the New York location of Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Oh, cool!
It's
really amazing,
cool.
Actually. Yeah, that's fantastic. A great loving tribute. Granted, I don't know the timeline.
This is the only movie in the trilogy which does not include the Casey Jones character, and one of the only 2 theatrically released TMNT films not to feature him.
Sad deal.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a director cameo, Michael Pressman, as the Channel 3 news manager. There's a cameo by Mark Casso. The performer inside the Leonardo costume also plays the man in the newsroom who tells April that Donatello is calling her. There's a cameo by Leif Tilden. The performer inside the Donatello costume also plays a foot soldier.
Yeah.
And there's a cameo by Michelin Sisti. The performer inside the Michelangelo costume also plays the Soho man who talks with April before she enters into her apartment.
Nice.
Adam Carl replaced Corey Feldman, which I just met him a couple weeks ago at the Indiana Comic Con, as the voice of Donatello in this movie. When I was looking at his autographs, you get those 8x10s. They had one of Donatello, and I had it in my hand, but I said, no, I better get it on the Goonies. So
I understand.
The Goonies. It was a tough call, though.
Yeah.
But according to Corey Feldman, producers did not want him to reprise his role due to his rehab stint at the time. They had concerns that having Feldman on board would attract negative publicity, clashing with the family-friendly image they were trying to portray.
Yeah, what a shame, dude. Because Corey Feldman's such a great performer.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. But what I'm saying is, they always say there's no such thing as bad publicity. Publicity is publicity.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
I feel like this film was kind of a sure bet regardless, but I think Corey Feldman wouldn't have heard it at all. It would have just been only done better, I'm sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. The glass that Professor Perry uses to mix the mutagen antidote has a picture of Bart Simpson from The Simpsons on it. One of Bart's trademark catchphrases is Cowabunga, just like that of the Turtles.
Mm.
The fight double for Donatello, Stephen Ho, kept the Donatello head, became a stand-up comedian, and uses it in his acts.
Nice.
I take it back. You can be Donatello, Kyle. I want you to come do the podcast in a Donatello head.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, man. Due to backlash from parents over the darker, more violent tone of the first Teenage Ninja Turtle movies, the producers decided not to allow the Turtles to use their weapons for almost the entirety of this film.
What a shame, too. I mean, that's the thing that kind of kills this film for me in so many ways.
Yeah, I think the only thing you see is Donatello uses staff when they're fighting. They use like a yo-yo. And then most of that's just in the opening scene.
It's too cartoony and not in a good way.
Yeah, they could have went a whole nother way and made this movie so good.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Especially
I understand why.
Especially after the success of.
Yeah. I understand the pressures of the decade and all kind of stuff, but still, I wish they could have gone, kept some of those rough edges from the first film and made this film all the better for it.
When the Turtles first encounter Toka and Razor, Michelangelo asked, "Didn't we just see these guys on WrestleMania?" Matter of fact, that was just this past weekend for anybody listening. In fact, Kevin Nash, Super Shredder, would later make 5 WrestleMania appearances, including one as WWF champion at WrestleMania. That would be number 11.
Oh, yeah, he did.
25 years after this movie's release, action figures ended up being produced of Ninja Turtles just dressed as pro wrestlers, including, and which one of these would you like, Kyle? Raphael as The Rock and Sting, Michelangelo as Macho Man Randy Savage and Rowdy Roddy Piper, Donatello as the Ultimate Warrior and The Undertaker. Ironically, no turtle figures were dressed as Kevin Nash.
Man,
which one would you take?
The answer is yes, but
all of them? Yeah.
but the real answer is probably Mikey's Roddy Piper and Macho Man.
Macho Man, can you see him do that?
Love Roddy Piper and Macho Man so much, so yeah, that'd be an easy answer for sure.
There's a cameo by Michael J. White as a Foot Clan recruit. 42 minutes in. Judith Hoag was not called to reprise her role as April O'Neil after the director was unhappy when she derided the way they mistreated the stunt doubles and their unfair schedule changes. She stated at SuperCon Florida that she had no ill will towards Paige Terrico. Instead, they met 17 years later and are now good friends. The directors found Paige Terrico to resemble the character more and found her chemistry with the Turtles to seem more sincere.
Yeah, I think she did a great job in this film. I think I did incorrectly say she was in the first film too. That was my mistake.
Right.
Yeah, but I think she did a fine job here.
After the original movie had seen unanticipated success in sales of the soundtrack, Golden Harvest committed a $25 million budget for this movie, but with the principal technology already developed by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, the decision was made to invest heavily in the film soundtrack. In fact, Vanilla Ice has an appearance in the movie performing ninja rap and featuring the Turtles doing a perfectly choreographed dance to it.
It's excellent. It's great. It's great. There's no downside to that. They have Vanilla Ice's song is great in this movie.
Go ninja, go ninja, go!
Yeah, it's classic.
I like when I think it's Michelangelo where he gets down on his shell and they spin him. He just takes out the foot.
It's pretty excellent.
Some of the pizza props used in this movie were reused in Ernest Scared Stupid. They can be seen being thrown at the bullies who try to attack the kids' treehouse.
Oh, awesome!
And the scene where the Turtles are leaving April's house and sneaking into the sewer to find a place to live. Before Michelangelo goes into the sewer, the line he says to April is a quote from Humphrey Bogart's character in Casablanca. This is the only time we see a character called Kino. He is never mentioned again in any other TMNT variant's history.
Maybe bring Kino's character back. Be cool.
When the script called for Leonardo to perform a back handspring, Mark Queso wanted to do it, but director Michael Pressman was unwilling to risk an injury. Pressman wanted Queso's stuntman to perform the feat, but the stuntman didn't know how. A search was initiated for an outside party to do the stunt, but Queso, a national gymnastics competitor, eventually went out and performed it himself. Queso later said of the matter, "I was like, well, I want to do my own thing. You are going to go out there and look for someone worse than me. You're going to find somebody to do a better back handspring than I can. I want Leonardo to have the best one."
Awesome. That's fantastic.
So... right now, Kyle's going to get up and do a...
backward handspring. Don't worry. I got this, guys.
Don't worry. Don't worry. There's a hospital right up the road, Kyle.
Easy trip to the ER right there.
And he doesn't only do one. Remember, was it him or Michelangelo? They just do those, like, backflips.
Back and forth. Yeah, number two. Yeah. Also a lot of, like, costume changes going on there for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Danielle Pesina stated in an interview of the Up, Up, Down, Down YouTube series that the Ninja Turtles costumes had very small eye slits for the actors to see out where they were also a good 3 inches away from their faces instead of being flush. So as a result, most of all the fight scenes show Foot Clan soldiers standing around waiting to be hit because the Turtles actors couldn't see what they were doing. Pesina went on to explain that if you watch close enough, the Ninja Turtles would first throw out random punches and kicks, and then a foot soldier would bend and jump in front of them so they could be hit. This explains why many of the other foot soldier actors couldn't throw back any punches or kicks of their own, as the Turtles actors didn't have the ability to react.
Oh, wow. So, yeah.
So you're telling me they're fake?
You're telling me these fights are choreographed and fake? What are you talking about, man? Yeah. No, but they did an excellent job in the film, though. I think they actually did pretty solidly. But it does make sense that, they probably didn't see a darn thing the entire time they were filming this.
In a way, this helped tone down the criticisms of the first movie being too violent, as there was little to no back-and-forth fighting when the Ninja Turtles would quickly defeat their enemies with one strike.
Yeah. Same time that there's nothing to chew on. There's nothing. There's no.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah. Aside from Super Shredder grabbing Leonardo and throwing him into the other three Turtles during the destruction of the pier, the Turtles make no physical contact with Shredder throughout the film.
Yeah. What's it like? What were we even doing here? Yeah. But still, Kevin Nash. That's always cool.
No, he was. He was the Super Shredder. Yeah. Other than Donatello, none of the other Turtles ever used their signature weapons in this film, which. That's where you lost me.
Yeah, I understand. I agree.
Spoiler, during filming of the scene where the Turtles are trapped in the net and fall to the ground, one of the stuntmen broke his ankle.
Oh, how? That sucks.
Yeah. At one point during the club scene when Vanilla Ice is performing, Leif Tilden, the actor in the Donatello suit, was supposed to roll stuntman Daniel Pacina at a foot soldier and then do a sidekick like choreographed. However, excuse me.
No.
Tilden decided to do a roundhouse kick instead without first telling Pacina. As a result, Pacina almost had 2 front teeth knocked out.
Oh, gosh. That would have sucked.
So, Kyle, that concludes our notes. Why don't you...
give us a quick little feel of how I feel about this film?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I do think the first film holds up really well. I think the first film is
you watched
really
the
solid.
first one and then watched this one, right?
Yep. Well, a couple weeks ago we were going to do this. We pushed it off a little bit, but then I watched the first one again, then watched the second one to kind of get a better feel for it. So I knew the plot again in my first head, because originally they're so well, because even the first film came out only a year. The second film only came out a year after the first film, so they're just that connected to it. Might as well be an episode of a TV show. The first film I feel like holds up really, really well. It's got a lot of rough edges, kids smoking menthol cigarettes and playing arcade games and casino games. So the first film has a lot of edge to it that I really love a lot. And the second film really tones back those rough edges, sands them down, and gets this film really kid-friendly to the point where, I feel like if you're a kid, you're still going to enjoy this film overall, and it will hold up for you just well enough. But if it's not as good as a film as the first film, unfortunately. So for me, I'm going to give it, I think generously, I'm going to give it a 5 and just say it's okay. But really kind of brings nothing new to the table for me in many respects, and overall pretty disappointing. And unfortunately that trend continues into number 3, which I also think is kind of just a terrible film. But the first one really holds up. This one's okay, and the third film's really bad. That's where I'm going to give the whole trilogy review right there. But overall, so just a solid 5. It's inoffensive, but also not really exciting. So that's where I feel about it. Jimbo, how do you feel about this film?
Being a kid of that era, the first film, I think me and my cousin, we pretty much had the first film memorized. Pizza dude's got 30 seconds, you know.
Yeah.
And wise men say, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. So the first one was such iconic, and loved it. And I remember anticipating when this was coming out, couldn't wait. And then we get this trash can of a movie. I think they really missed the point from not having Bebop and Rocksteady. I think it's disappointing and missed the mark that they did not have their signature weapons. Yeah. The fight scenes in this were just dumb.
Yeah.
You were waiting for this big old fight with Super Shredder at the end, and it just never happened. Yeah. He basically just pulls down the whole dock on himself.
It's like a Three Stooges bit. There's nothing really going on.
Yeah. So for me, for everything I just stated, and being a fan of the Turtles, I'm giving this a 4, and that's probably being generous.
Yeah, I agree.
Because after that first movie was so iconic, and there really wasn't that much violence in the first one. I mean, they do beat Leonardo up and throw him through the roof and stuff, but the Turtles, they had their weapons. That's what made them cool. They were artistic artist names from the Renaissance with weapons, and it was cool.
Yeah.
This, not so much. If you like the Turtles and have never seen this movie, I even hesitate to say watch it once. because it's just a waste of time.
I think it's like at this point, it's like a thing where it's like if you're like a parent who grew up watching the first movies and like you show your kid the movie and they really like the first one, they might still like the second one too.
Right.
But that's about as far as that audience goes now. Like,
right.
Really.
It's not any award wakers. It's not groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But I do wish. I mean, we have new Turtle movies out, but I wish they would go back to these live action suits. Like from the first one, especially this one, not so much because I couldn't really see the fight scenes. And I don't know why the fight scenes were so much different in this one than the first one, because they actually had fight scenes in the first one that they fought.
Really solid, yeah.
It wasn't just one and done punch. And this guy's saying that, hey, we couldn't see 3 inches outside of our face or whatever. So
yeah, and I think there are some ways that possibly reality, but like not in a movie format at this point. I don't think they could ever do a movie that wouldn't be either live action with CGI or animated film altogether. But maybe in like a limited time series on like Netflix or Amazon or something like that too. I could see them doing like real actors in suits again doing Ninja Turtle work, and I could see that being really, really cool and popular someday. Maybe they could do that, maybe they won't.
They did have one with that new female turtle that I tried to watch. From what I remember, I only watched a little bit of it. It wasn't that bad, so maybe if I can find that, maybe it'll...
Well, you know, modern TV budgets now are like basically movie budgets of the 90s. Right. So I think they could find a way to mix that in and get it right. Also get some better suits made and all that kind of stuff, and actually really have some good action scenes there that I could think would be really solid. And I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a big enough property to justify those kind of expenses. So I think there could be some strong stuff going on there in the future that could be really great. And I think, like, you know, Teenage Mutant Turtles has been a long-lasting franchise and can continue to go for a long-lasting franchise. You know, I will say these films are a little bit connected to the 80s and 90s, like the idea that like New York is constantly besieged by crime, which is not really reality today.
Actually, it's probably more true today than it was back then.
Not in the same way. It's not a conspiracy of hoodlums pickpocketing all the time, you know. But in many respects, I feel like it's not quite the same kind of aesthetic going on today as it was back then. So, you know, there's limited things you could do in an adaptation today, but I would still love to see it. I'd be very curious.
And you know, I said WrestleMania was just this past weekend, which it was, but by the time this comes out, it's going to be months
at the time
down the road.
Recording, just this past weekend,
Yeah, so that's how far ahead we are recording this. So, like I said, if you're a fan of the Turtles, okay.
Yeah.
This one, man, even if they would have just added Bebop and Rocksteady, I think this shoots up to at least a 6.
Yeah.
That stupid...
There's 2 like generic Power Rangers villains. Yeah.
Yes, it crushed. I was crushed. I was literally. I'm still mad about it, Kyle.
Yeah. Still bitter about it.
I can't take it.
You know, 30 years later.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Well, we will be continuing our summer sequel series. We got some cool stuff planned. We're not going to release what they are yet because it's a surprise.
Yeah. Also,
but it will be a sequel to a movie that we've already covered. So be on the lookout for those. So with that being said, I think the summer sequel episode is coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut. Bunga Kawa.
Cowabunga.